Hi guys again, it's Simon here. I went downstairs to actually have my dinner and then see my dog. He's okay. He's under painkillers, so he's gonna be out of it until tomorrow morning, so that's pretty sad. And they ended up fixing the problems with his leg, but they had to remove an extra bone due to it going to become a bit more of a problem, and that's going to lead to him getting arthritis later, so not good on that front. So forgive me if I seem a little bit moody in this second part, but if you're not following on, I'm on the second part of the 6th Hump Day Hopkins rehash, which we haven't spent a lot of time looking down Katie Hopkins' Twitter feed because I've just spotted these episode things on YouTube from the exclusive interviews from people who are going to be on her panel. And there's this last one from Liz Jones, so I'm going to do this one, and then I'm going to get right back into it because she's updated it. So, that means more time. So, here we go. Here's Liz Jones's part on If Katie Hopkins Ruled the World. Well, her exclusive interview. Not exclusive. Okay, this has changed my opinion drastically of Liz Jones. Sometimes she sounds okay, but then at other times she sounds a bit like the loony. Oh my god. I pick the weirdest company of people sometimes. Let's see how many likes and dislikes this. Oh, 2 likes so far. Okay, that's fine. Let's see what she's also got. She's put on 2 new posts about the YouTube thing, and she'll be live tweeting tonight in the UK, which is good. So let's see. Seriously, RM Tunion, what do you think you're playing at? I need to get the photos up to see exactly what's going on. I'm sorry, Tube Strike. I'm sorry that your journeys this evening and tomorrow will again be disrupted by the unions. We listen to their concerns over work-life balance, but we're an extremely fair of offer. Above inflation, la 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 la. Da 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 da. Well, if there's a good thing that comes out of this, Katie, is that people will be properly doing your 10,000 steps without realising it, so take that as a plus. Here's another one. May I take a moment to thank you for all the emails of support. This little line is obliged to no comment at present, but soon she will roar. I am now really excited for this. She's tweeting all these people like Andy Simon for thanking him. Oh my god, I need to see a picture because I feel like I've just fucked up badly. And it's a picture of an owl, so that does not give me any help whatsoever. I think it's a man. No, scratch that, I'm sure it's a man. I've dug myself into a massive shithole. Andy Simon has taken a picture of a poster in a magazine for If Katie Hopkins Ruled the World, which I'll try and push down. Looks quite nice. You'll be able to see it on Katie's Twitter feed anyway, so that stops me from stretching there. And she said, "Thank you, Angel. If I ruled the world, Britain would be great again." Oops. Liz Cundy said, "It's all kicking off in our studios. As got Katie Hopkins coming on the show today." Yikes. So, she's going to be on talking about her new show of Katie Hopkins Ruled the World. So, I wonder how many times I've said that this episode. I should just keep it as Katie Rules now because it will take up too much time. So, I'm going to have to stream that podcast later. Ali said something about the poster, which was good. Oh, it's another thing. You want a 4-day week? 52 days off a year? You already have one, darlings. Good luck getting home tonight, London. Look, I don't know much about the tube strike, and I have no right to comment on this, so I'm just going to keep it at that. Something with all these religious signs. Ellie Placidex. I apologise, whatever your name is. I'm unbelievably excited for Katie Hopkins' new show. Jack Dawkins says, free speech TV show at last. And Katie retweeted both of those. Katie said, "You can say that again, Bird," to TLC from Sarah Thornton, who says, "Creating a format for Britain's most controversial commentator took some doing." To be fair, no one else would have wanted to run and touch her, so TLC is the only one besides Channel 5 that's been touching her, so good on TLC. Something about behind the scenes. Katie says, "If I ruled the world, all striking tube workers would be sacked." As I said again, I can't comment on this. Are they feckin' kidding? 52 days holiday, Stuart McDonald. How many do us school students get? 14, 28. Well, she should be more pissed off at us Aussie school students because we have longer off. And she's got these facts lined up with London tube drivers with hospital doctors about their pay. Says, "Are you struggling to get home from your minimum wage job this evening?" Okay. Alright here, their pay is 50 to 60k at salary at 5 years, and their initial salary is 35k. The doctor's one is 22k for initial salary, and salary at 5 years is 45k. To be perfectly honest, either of these companies are mistreating them. That's the only other reason why this is happening. Because they can't be striking for more money. That's just being really greedy. Some type of mistreatment shit must have happened. Would you like a job with 43 days leave a year and a £500 starting bonus? Martin Mulligan said this is crazy and Katie retweeted it, and I think it is too. As someone said, Henry Tabot said, "Would you do the job, slag?" And Katie said, "Sure, I'd do it. 43 days holiday, crushy salary and stacks of cash. Tube workers should be grateful and feel blessed. They're getting more, at this point, they're getting more than doctors, so I do have to agree on this tangent. Olgana na Irahan at Mr. Bynes. I'm crap with words, sorry. Says, Katie Hopkins, sit on my face, please. Would have been better if they had a gif of Jinx Monsoon saying, come here and sit on my face, bitch. And Katie says, I have a chair. Thank you. Katie said, right. Katie retweeted this commenter called Marty who said, 50 grand pay, 43 days leave, 36 hour week. Can I have that job? And I'm sure others wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind it. You know RM Tunion. It's going to take a bastard big cod to go with that chip on your shoulder. And it has a big orange goldfish, which I think looks photoshopped, but still, I'm not going to show it. You can see on her feed. Why do all RM Union spokesmen look like bouncers after a night on the lash? They've had to endure a strike, so not particularly as rough as your usual Saturday night at the pub, but still, you never know. Henry McWatters says, Tube drivers, Londoners appreciate that you already are being paid 42k rising to 52k just for pressing a giant big red button. I like him, he's feisty. Katie says, your 3 million for kids company was needed for a transformational downsizing plan. HR speak for nicking your cash. That's not good. They should not be swiping money away from other things. And what is this about? Kids company closes today despite being given £3 million of taxpayers' cash a week ago. Are they having a laugh? Have donations been pouring in properly? Because that's the only reason why they should be shutting down. If donations are not coming in properly. I'm really trying to race through these because I think my iPad's gonna crash any minute. If Katie Hopkins ruled the world, we wouldn't be in the state we're in. Tube drivers would be sacked, with a link to the promo. Emily X says, I'm almost afraid to ask what vaginal steaming is. I don't want to know either. Katie says, darling, it is what it says on the can. The cameraman and sound man were shrouded in thick vaginal mist. I don't want to imagine. Hashtag no filter. Katie says, come talk to mama. Tell me your problems. Remember, I won't give a shit, but you might feel better. Is it just me, or would Katie be a really good trainer on The Biggest Loser? Like, I could totally see it in my mind's eye. Okay. Katie, aww, that's sweet. Katie says, thank you to Americans and Australians for your emails. I appreciate your support. Britain needs to find its pride. Like Cecil, pre-Arrow. Ow. That's gonna hurt. But to be fair, it's true. Like, I agree with what Katie Hopkins is saying about this Cecil matter. Like, she understands that animal cruelty is horrible, but those people who literally want to go after the guy who killed him and skinned him alive, no. I'd rather have him tried and then thrown in jail, because that's going to be enough of a punishment as it is. There was this thing with the Stan Collymore incident, where, I'm not sure if I've told people this, Stan Collymore said, I'd buy Katie Hopkins' silence, and Katie Hopkins goes, alternatively, Stan, you could kick me in the head until I couldn't talk. I am a woman after all. And this was to the matter, he was probably involved in some beating scandal years earlier. I wouldn't know, I don't do research on knobs. Anyway, Shelley said, I'm sorry, this did actually make me laugh out loud. And Katie said, Stan Collymore, thunder twats are a go. See, this is the witty tweets I like. See, I go away for a while after literally getting pissed at her, what she's saying, and now I come back and she's putting good tweets on again. I'm happy. I'm literally like that monkey that just Dun 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 dun. Backflip. Ding ding dun 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 dun. Backflip. I'm literally, in my head, I'm like this at the moment. It's coming to all these things in the UK, but it's not coming down here. I'm pissy. Katie says, ugh. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the Jesus of the outspoken, the font of sufficiently trivial knowledge. I like that. Maybe you could pair up with CM Punk, who's the voice of the voiceless, so... Actually, a show with those two would be kind of cool. Mirror TV. Katie Hopkins discusses vaginal steaming, fat taxes on new TLC show. Doug Glitter said, so Katie Hopkins now has her own TV show on TLC starting Thursday. To watch or not to watch? Why is it on so late? And Katie says, because I get my foo-foo out. I'm in. Literally, Twitter has turned into a place for, like, a Tumblr. Twitter's turned into, like, Tumblr with all these sexual things. Katie Hopkins says, it's always women moaning about me. Mostly because they know I could steal their husbands if I... Oh my god. I love her. Oh my god. Hats off to you. And Lee Cardinal is literally crying of laughter, which Katie retweeted. More tweets from Katie. Anyone who thinks tube drivers were the only ones ever to work... Anyone would think tube drivers were the only ones ever to work a night shift. Get over yourselves, you idle ignorance. It's true, many people have to work a night shift. You should be feeling sorry for the poor kids at Macca's that have to work 24 hours a day. It's amazing that they don't suddenly fall asleep and then fall into the vat of hot oil. It's amazing that that hasn't happened yet. Or if it has, they should be decreasing the hours. Church Plus Media Network. Latest. Katie Hopkins will be interviewed by Torian Douglas at this year's Church and Media Conference. Blah, 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 blah. And Katie said, last time I walked into a church, the vicar ran for a fire blanket. Oh my god, that would have been a sight to see. Striking tube twats. You've a 2% rise in 2015, 1% 2016-2017 plus £500 bonus, plus extra 200 per nightly shift. Greedy bankers, you're greedy wankers. Oh my god. That needs to be a segment on like a... You know when political parties have like their campaigns? That needs to be a slogan on one of them. It should probably be against the anti-strike thing. That needs to be the slogan. Greedy bankers, you're greedy wankers. Oh my god. Coloured Cookie says, my husband said he wouldn't ride you into the battle. Pig. That's not nice. She doesn't look like a pig at all. She looks like a nice, beautiful lady. Regardless of what anyone says about her big nose or her looking like Princess Anne. Like, when was a nose important in deciding whether someone was beautiful or not? Like, come on. If I go cross-eyed, my one looks like a plush thing, and... Oh god. This is probably why I'm still single. My life is ruined. Oh my gosh. And Katie says, I imagine your husband's Valentine cards make your heart swell. I love this. Smiling Herbert said, nicely put, Lord Sugar, now address this bit of Katie Hopkins' revolutionary history. So the person sticks everything on there except crossed out the part about the only apprentice to fire Lord Sugar. You know what? She was. She actively turned down his offer of her being in the final two to take better care of her kids. If that's not dedication, then I don't know what is. And besides, if she had have made it to the end, I have a feeling she would have won it. Because, as proven from this and everything else, she knows how to handle herself in the business world. She's got people still talking about her. She's still remained relevant after then. Many of these apprentice candidates go through, and then if you don't have something strong like Louisa did, then they just vanish into the woodwork straight after. So, and she's been able to remain relevant for, how long? 9-something years after her stint on The Apprentice, so she must be doing something right. Okay. Next one. Another one from Katie. I want to tell you, I want you to be my girl. Let's walk, let's talk under the moon of love. Catches glimpse of ass, jives into power shower. Is this a hint she's doing Strictly? I hope it's a hint she's doing Strictly. It would just be really funny to see her doing Charleston's all over the place. Not to mention she'd give Len Goodman a run for his money. And Craig. And Bruno. We had him for 3 weeks down here. Yeah, I need brain bleach. And quickly. Dave says, morning turtleneck. Turkey neck. And Katie says, morning chicken nuggets. This one. Morning ankle biters. Come on, you little monkeys. Dance for me and I will throw you a nut. I have officially just lost all of my dignity. Oh my god. I have officially lost every single bit of my dignity doing that. I better be getting some peanut butter. Come on, Katie. Oh, she's pursing her lips. She's wearing an orange top, which means, and it's Adidas, she's probably running from me, in which case I probably haven't gotten my nuts. I need to think these dance routines a little bit more thoroughly through. What's next? Robert Taylor says, cannot believe TLC has given this talentless bin to TV show, Car Crash TV. And Katie says, or would we say talentless bint, or would we say secret crush? It's okay, you're amongst friends. Mr. Murphy just said, just seen an advert for a new chat show with Katie Hopkins. What an ugly beast she really is, inside and out. Hashtag horse face. Mate, that's not a horse face. If you want horse face, you look at Sarah Jessica Parker, not Katie Hopkins. And Katie retweeted it because of splitting it both on sides. I'm not sure what this Jack Jones guy has said because he seems to have removed his tweet. And it's completely gone. Katie said, most evilest? Bloody hell, that's literally really evil and then some. I don't know anyone more evil-ster. To be fair, this Jack Jones has pretty much deleted his tweets, so... Why do all the people that come up against Katie Hopkins delete their tweets straight after? They're absolutely fine with running their mouth about her, but won't speak a bang on her face-to-face about that. I don't understand. If you want to fight, stand up and fight. You don't go cowardly off, otherwise you wouldn't have deserved that. Otherwise you don't deserve to get that kind of attention from her. There are hundreds and hundreds of ankle biters who wish that Katie would tweet them. Me included. Who's next? Zoe Riddell says, Katie Hopkins, you do make me laugh, you just don't give a shit, lol. Yeah, I like that about her. Chris H says, shots fired, ha ha ha, you've killed me, brilliant. What was this about? Nothing yet. The other fella said, so many people are already complaining about Katie rules. That's a success in itself. And to be fair, it's true. How else was... Miley Cyrus's thing at the VMAs was Car Crash. I'm a smiler completely, but it was Car Crash, and that's how she wanted it to be. It was a strategic hot mess, and it worked. Everyone was talking about it the next day, and several weeks after the come, and it's still popular to this day. Katie's show has kind of got that same effect, except she won't be twerking. At least I think. Don't hold me up on that one just in case it happens. Someone from Kexla or whatever the heck it is, Keksec Politics said, It's because you've got the perfect body, perfect ass, and great tits. Katie says, in fairness, my boobs are mostly chicken fillets. Tasty. I have just lost every single bit of my dignity this episode. No regrets. Let's see what else we've got. Sierra Gurney is tweeting, everybody's already started bitching about Katie Hopkins' new TV show and it hasn't even started yet. Laughing, crying emoji. I've retweeted that, so we're getting even closer to the end now. So hopefully my thing doesn't crash out beforehand. Yeah. Sandy Shoe says, it is mostly females moaning about Katie Hopkins and her new show, #GreenEyes, and it's the tweet about the women moaning. Tom Foolery Talk says, so Katie Hopkins gets a TV show feeding her ego while children still get horrific diseases. God is truly dead. And Katie goes, are these two things related? No, seriously, they're not related at all. Like, bad things are going to happen in the world. Bad things happen to bad people, and I don't think that Katie is a completely bad person. Like I said at the start in part 1, there are worse people that have walked this earth than Katie Hopkins. Believe you me. Ali says, me and my mum are super excited for this setup and on Series Link 2. Does Series Link come down to Australia as well? Because I would really love to watch this show. David says, everyone saying Katie Hopkins' TV show is going to fail is talking utter rubbish. We are all talking about it and are going to tune in. #success with a fire emoji. It's true. Tommy Casey says, I can't work out if I'm more excited for the show itself or the huge aftermath of opinions from disgusted and shocked viewers. I have a feeling, I'm going to predict this right now. This hasn't aired yet, but I already think Katie #KatieRules or something to do with if Katie Hopkins ruled the world is going to be the #1 trend on Twitter tomorrow. Like, seriously. I have a feeling that it's going to be there. It's gotta be. There's no way that this isn't going to get talked about. Nathan Lomax Face says, if Katie Hopkins ruled the world is already my new favourite show based on this ad alone. It seems like a fun can of worms for Britain, so I'm really looking forward to it. Bonnie Greer says, this is a sincere question and it's plagued me for a while, but is there something wrong with Katie Hopkins? Really? #Scylla Black. Now we're getting even more onto this and I do have something to say about this particular one. I'll be live tweeting my show on Thursday. Will you be sweet enough to join me? I can try, but I'll probably be in school by then. Mark says, Katie Hopkins' own TV show. Best news all day, take no prisoners, Katie. And I don't believe that she won't take no prisoners. She has no filter, like I said earlier. Naomi Robertson says, the fact that Katie Hopkins has been given her own TV show is probably the most horrific thing to happen this year. There are other things bad that have happened this year. Just go and take a look at your local news. Wars raging all over the world, and yet you're complaining that this columnist has just gotten a TV show. Like, I would be whinging if Janet Street Porter had gotten her own TV show, but I'm not saying that it's the worst thing to happen in the world, because believe me, there are other matters that are really, really worse. Never mind her. Mullis says, this is going to be brilliant. #if Katie Hopkins ruled the world. Johnny Lantham says, I actually can't wait for the new Katie Hopkins show to start. Nime Martin says, why the bloody hell has someone given Katie Hopkins another bastard TV show? #loud bitch, #failure. Is it okay to say that you're a failure because you've forgotten to put the spaces in between the hashtags? It only works if there's a space in between them. Bye-bye, whatever your name was. It's now irrelevant to me. Vicky says, Katie Hopkins, no one watched that shit. #failure annoying. If Katie Hopkins ruled the world, Katie don't rule. Somehow she's gotten to where she's up to now. She's pretty much running the world when it comes to her column. She's the only columnist probably known completely worldwide. Like, some people will just say other things like Janet Street Porter and people other than me that don't pay attention to British TV would be like, who? And then if they mention Katie Hopkins, they'll be like, oh, she's that one about the migrant thing. Oh, I like or don't like her. depending on where their standpoint on Katie is, because the whole migrant thing really catapulted her. It even got her into the Australian trends. And on a night where football was really massive, that's not easy to do. Katie says, thanks for all the love/hate, deleted as appropriate, following my jolly ad for if Katie Hopkins ruled the world. Okay. Did she delete the other person's tweet? No, that can't be right, surely. Because it's only the person's users that can delete. I don't get. Can someone please explain that to me in the comments below? Okay, Abby Hedgesniff has given, who the hell has given Katie Hopkins another TV show? Why are we fueling her ignorant, dense, unsedated views? Stop adding fuel to the fire. There are bad people in the world. Just look at that Ann Coulter woman. It's idiots giving her a benchmark to go off persistently despite being an absolute bitch all this time. Katie at least has some morals. Bradley says, enjoy the silence while it lasts. Can't wait for Katie Hopkins' new program. Hashtag if Katie Hopkins ruled the world. Carol Jordan said, just saw your advert for if Katie Hopkins ruled the world. Shit's gonna go down. Hashtag Katie rules. And Katie's quoted it. And Samantha Mumford has said, why the hell has TLC given Katie Hopkins a bloody TV show? Hashtag ridiculous, failure, annoying. Is it just accurate, like, how many times that this has been said? Like, come up with something else. When you repeat the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over, it's, like, really silly. And apparently Ricky Gervais is caught onto Facebook Live because something's popped down there. I missed the Stephen Amell Q&A because I was in school and the school blocks Facebook. Something I will never forgive Aquinas for. I'll probably mention it in my leaving speech at graduation, but we'll see what happens. What would Paul Foot do if he ruled the world? Find out an exclusive behind-the-scenes clip. Not particularly sure. Mark says, that's because most people are idiots. Of course, Katie Hopkins was talking sense. And this one, I showed this to Alex and my sister, and she was quite shocked. If I ruled the world, anyone with an IQ sub 130 would be deported.